friends. How are you? Happy Monday. Well, yesterday was a day. We had Easter egg hunts all day long. So today, of course, we're going to be talking about Easter photos. Um, Maybe you had different ones than I did. And I know while you're coming in, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about probably something you wouldn't necessarily be like on the top of your list, but one of the things I had talked to you about was that, well, maybe we're not going to be able to scrapbook as much as I was because I didn't really say why, but the because was I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I love Stampin' Up! Papers, but they do make scrapbooking a little hard until now. Stampin' Up! Has been in conversation with Close to My Heart, which was the company I was with before. And Close to My Heart, sadly, is closing after 30 some years. The owner has decided it's time for her to rest. But Stampin' Up! Is going to work to add scrapbooking to our supplies. It's going to take a little bit, but I'm okay. Don't you worry. I have plenty. But there are things about Stampin' Up! That I absolutely adore. I love their stamps. I love their the way they work. I love their inks. What I don't like is there's not a lot of 12 by 12 variety, but that's changing. So that means scrapbooking can come back for me. Not that it ever was going to go anywhere, but that I can share it with you too, because I try to share only what I can tell you where I got it. So anyway, enough about that. The other piece of this is you've also heard me talk about going camping this summer, and that I wanted to try not to use my Cricut. Well, I tried, and apparently I have old hands. My arthritis just really doesn't like using all of the other things. It likes the Cricut. So my Cricut's still here. It didn't go anywhere. As you can see, it's sitting right over here. This is actually my photo printer sitting on top of it. I use the HP Sprocket right now to print my photos. So while you're all coming on in, let's take a peek. Tonight we're going to work with the print then cut feature in Design Space, which honest to goodness, it's my favorite. And I use it a lot, but I don't always tell you about it. So let's play with it. My scrapbooking style was created multiple years ago. I don't like measuring. I get really annoyed when I look at scrapbook layouts or designs or directions that tell you, place your picture 3¼ inches down from the top and 1/2 inch in from the side and trim it down using a photo. No, none of those things make me happy. So I let Cricut do all that. I designed something called a Simple, and the Simple is basically a combination of photo mats and a layout. This is a Simple. It's going to be on my website for free, so you can try it if you've never used it before. Those of you that are in my membership program, it's already in your list for April. But if you've not tried a Simple before, I promise you it will change the way you scrapbook. Your photos are able to be fit without using a photo editing program. I have a collection of, you can hardly see these, of little templates that are basic sizes that fit simple squares. I'm going to show you how to do that. The Simple is cut with a Cricut. It's an SVG, which is a file you upload to Design Space. So let's go take a peek at that for right now. And then we'll cut it and put it together. So here is Design Space, and that's the Simple, but it's already been played with. So let me go back to the beginning before we did any work on it. We're going to start new. And the Simple is available on, as I said, it's going to be in my store, but it's free. So you can go get it and try it. I'll put the link after this when we're done. And you're going to download that from the store and save it to your computer. That's the trickiest part. Then you're going to upload it into Design Space right here where it says upload image, and it will sit right here. And then you're going to No, I clicked the wrong thing. I'm so sorry. Then you're going to click on it. It's going to show up down here, and you're going to add it to the canvas. And now we can work with it. Let me zoom in a little so it's not so huge. All right, the sizes are on your Simple. So that tells you what size photo you need. 6x4, that's the kind you get when you just send it off to be printed somewhere. You use CVS or Walmart or Shutterfly or one of those. Persnickety Prints, it'll come back as a 6x4. That's the standard. 3x4s, you're going to need to use one of the cropping tools that I have included in our templates, or you're going to use your trimmer and just cut it down. Hi, Susan. But when I put these in here, these are great to help you see them and to know, but you don't really want Cricut to do anything with it. So there's a couple things that you can do. Click over here, click open up this group. When this comes in, they're all grouped together so they stay together. And you'll see this is the layer that has the sizes on it. You can do two things with it. You can just simply click on that little eye and it goes away. Still there, but it just closes its eyes so you don't see it. Or you can click on it, highlight that layer, come up here and change it from a basic cut to a guide. Now notice it's red. That tells Cricut don't cut it, don't do anything with it, just leave it there. The next thing you're going to want to look at is this is the actual Simple. That's the part that's going to hold your photos. The mats are a little bit bigger than the sizes that you see here. They allow for a 1/4 inch mat around your photo. But I also add shadows to the Simple, and that's to give you a double matted photo. But in this case, we don't want to use it. Hi, Diane. So before we go further, we're going to click on this and we're going to ungroup it. Now, each one of these layers can be used separately. I want to take this layer, which is the shadow layer, and I'm just going to turn it off for a bit. We're going to do something different with this one. Now, we've got the guides going, right? But we don't need them right now, so we're going to turn those off too. So here we have just our Simple. And remember, I showed you that a minute ago when it was all cut out. But we're going to need a title for this. So we're going to work in Design Space and create our title before we go too much further. First thing I want to do is bring in a shape. I'm going to take a nice little square and I'm going to make it 12 by 12. That's my background paper, right? I'm not going to cut this or do anything with it. I just need this here to kind of give me an idea of what is going on. How does the sizing work? So I'm going to click on that, go up to Arrange, and tell Cricut to send it to the back. Put it underneath everything on the bottom of the pile. Notice it drops it down here. If you're super observant, you might notice there's a red exclamation point here. It's because this is 12 by 12, which Cricut can't cut. If you click on that, it'll tell you. The image is too large. Cricut can't cut anything that big. But remember, I said I'm not going to cut it. I'm just using it as a guide. So it's okay. Hi, Jean. So I'm going to zoom out a little more. So this is what my layout's going to look like. There's my 12 by 12 background. Here's my Simple. I'm going to add 4 photos to this. But I need a title. And I want it to be something to do with Easter. We had an Easter egg hunt. We went to visit my mom at her assisted living, and she came to visit with the grandchildren. So that's what my photos are about from yesterday. So I'm going to go into Cricut Images, and I am going to search for Easter 2024 and see what I get. There's a lot of options. I'm telling you, you could spend all day trying to figure something out. But the one that I picked, now let's hope I can find it this time, it's an Easter egg and it's really cute. And where is he? It's right there. Easter egg with rabbit and flowers. That's the one I picked. You could pick any. You don't have to pick that. But let me show you what I did with it. Notice when you click on it, It pops it down here. It also has a printer here. That tells me it's a print then cut. I'll show you what to do if it wasn't. Let's grab this bunny just so that we can show you what if it wasn't a print then cut, and add it to the canvas. All right, so the one I want to work with is already a print then cut image. This one. And that's the one I want to use, and I want it to fit right in there, right? But this one is a cut image. I need to cut the layers. If you look over here, you can see there's a lot of little pieces that go into making this bunny. And I don't really want to do that. So I'm going to turn that into a print then cut and let Cricut do the work. Well, how do I do that? I'm going to come over here and click on flatten. Cricut's now going to print that. Notice it now says it's print then cut. All right, so I'm going to let you sit right here for a second, little buddy. And I'm going to take this. This is going to be my title, but I need it to say Easter 2024. Lots of different things I can do. I can go out and find an image that says that. I used my text. And I just used the regular old Cricut Sans font. That's what Cricut defaults to. Notice I have a text box right here. And I'm going to type Easter 2024. And I'm going to bring it over my egg. Okay, well, I don't want it black. So I'm going to change the color. I'm going to come up here to this little box. And I'm going to give it a pink maybe. I actually did give it kind of a purpley color in mine, but whatever color you want. And I like that, but I want it to kind of come around the egg. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to click on curve. And I'm going to drag this out a little bit, and you're going to watch my title curve down around my egg. See it? And that's all cool, but it's a little too big. So I'm going to bring this in a little bit. Get that where I want it. I'm going to select both of those, and I'm going to align them center horizontally. I want the egg to be right under. Got it? All right. I need to bring you down just a little smidge. And then I'm going to select both of those, and I'm going to flatten. Now I could have done the same thing with this egg. I could have added Easter 2024 to that egg if you liked that one better. I like this one, but I'm not done yet. This is going to go right here. But I want to be able to, when I put it down on the page, to know that it's right. I don't want to have to try and resize it or figure out exactly where it goes. So and I don't want to have to like lay it down on something. The other thing I need to do is to have Easter have something to print on. Right now it's just going to print randomly. So I am going to use my offset. Hold on, I want to move this so you can see it. I'm going to use my offset. And notice it's kind of fat. I don't like it quite that much. That's giving it a shadow, and I'm going to bring it in a little. I like that. I'm going to say apply. It always goes to black, which if you don't want it to be black, you can switch it. I like to make mine white. And then one more time, I'm going to flatten this. So now my print then cut and my offset are all going to be together. So Cricut's going to cut one thing, this. I don't need this bunny because I'm going to use my bunny. Now I'm going to get rid of you because I don't need that anymore. I know this is right, but remember I said I had a shadow layer going on? I do, but I want this shadow. Let me turn this on again. This one. See, this one just fits right behind here. Okay, that's cool, but I want it to take, I want one shadow to work kind of like the back of a puzzle. So I know where everything goes. So I'm going to select this whole thing, my simple and my title. I'm going to make sure that it's the right size. It's less than 12. I'm okay. And I'm going to use my offset again. This time I'm going to use the pointy corners because I think that looks better. And I'm going to say apply. Notice now I have this offset, and let's look at it and see what it looks like. This is going to show me where to put my title when I cut this out. So I don't need you anymore. I can delete that. I don't need you anymore. So now I have my offset, which it says black, but I can make it be any color. This one I actually did in a green. So I need to load 3 loads into the map. So I'm going to say make it. Cricut's going to think about it for a minute. It always asks you at this point now, do you want to save it before you go to cut it? And I recommend that you do. I've already done it, so I'm not going to do it today. But generally, I save it here just in case there's a technical glitch. I like this edition because anytime there was a computer hiccup or burp, I could lose everything I've just worked on. And this saves me. So normally I do save. I'm not going to because I already have this saved once. Oh, let me do it so that you can see it. Click save. It comes up and says give it a name. We're going to do class Easter title so I know which one it is. And then I can save it into a collection. I'm an Access member, so I have the ability to have a ridiculous number of subcategories. I think it's only 5 if you're not an Access member, but it's still enough. Save it. It's doing the saving. And now it's going to let me, it's going to go right into the make it screen. The first thing it wants to do is print. Now, it's going to go to the printer that is attached to this computer. It's not going to print through the Cricut, and it's going to print at 8.5 by 11. Let's bring this in. Ignore that the computer is here too. Let me move this out of the way. It's going to print that, and this is what it looks like when it comes out of the printer. Notice it has these marks on it. These are those are the registration marks that tell Cricut where the design is. You put this on your mat just like you would in the picture, just like it shows you in the picture. Cricut goes ahead and cuts out, and this is what's left over. All right. Then the next load, then the mat will, I've already printed it. So then the mat wants me to connect my machine because I haven't, or it won't go on. Hold on. I'm going to choose my cardstock. If you are printing this on regular basic white cardstock from Stampin' Up, which my printer likes, you're okay. If you happen to make a mistake and choose the thicker white, so this is basic white, right? This is thick basic white. You can't tell looking at it on the screen, I realize. That's why I keep them in the container so that I can tell. But you're going to need a little bit more than medium cardstock. So what I usually do is I pick medium cardstock, and then right here where the pressure is on default, I'm going to say more. And that is going to tell me, it's going to give the Cricut a little bit more, and it's going to cut through better. Okay, so if you're using basic white, no worries, you don't have to change anything. You're going to go ahead and cut this next layer, which is going to cut this. And then lastly, you're going to cut this. That's the shadow layer. Okay? All right, so let's put these all together. Let me take you off of there and bring you back down to just that. We are done with our Cricut. Oh, I didn't want to forget about telling you this. The annual catalog just came today. As a demonstrator, we get a month early to order through Stampin' Up, which is so exciting. There's so many cool things. It's like the Christmas wish book. If you are not my customer but are interested, drop me a note and I will tell you how to go about it. I sadly can't do them for free anymore because I have to pay for them and then the shipping is ridiculous. So anyway, but I will get you one and I give it with a coupon so that you can use it to shop with later. So it actually ends up being free, but you have to help me out with the shipping at the beginning. Right? Vermont is closer than Tennessee. Never. I don't know how I got it today. I really don't. I didn't expect it. I was kind of surprised. Okay, so now I have this mess on my table, right? Which is usual for me. I don't need these guys anymore. Here's my shadow and my simple. And then I printed out a bunch of my photos. Here's my title. So this is what this is going to look like, right? So easy. Let's get my photos over here. Here's my background paper. And what I do before I go too far is I kind of put this on here. I attach this to my shadow just using my Stamp and Seal. Come on, you're not empty, are you? No. Put this on down. I am an adhesive girl. I do not like liquid adhesive. If you like liquid, you go for it. I have no patience waiting for it to dry. So I tend to be a Stamp and Seal. And then figure it out. What's so nice about this is I don't have to measure a stinking thing. I just stick it on down and we're good. Now this, I think I'm going to want to make that pop up a little bit. So I'm going to use some dimensionals in here. It's just enough. It's not going to be huge, but it's going to give it a little something. And then I'm ready to put my photos on. But before I put this down, I'm going to glue this to my paper because my dimensionals are going to peek through, right? Again, I don't measure because I don't have to really. I can eyeball this and figure out where do I want it, right? Because I can just look and see. If I'm really going to be up at night because it's not straight, I can use my glass mat and make sure that I'm lined up. I could use a ruler if I wanted to, but I tend to decide what looks good because that's who's going to be looking at this page, right? Oh, thanks, Diane. Okay, so here we go. We're going to pop this on now, and you'll notice that this lines up perfectly with my shadow at the top. All right, and there we go. So my layout's done, right? Now I'm able to figure out my photos. I am going to use this one. I had to print this twice. Sometimes, I don't know about you, sometimes my sprocket moves my photo up too far and I lost Mom's head. You can't be doing that. So, and all I need to do is just break off these little pieces. This is part of the way the printer prints it out. I like the Sprocket. It has an app. I used to have the Selfie, and I struggled with it updating the software, and my photos just didn't fit. So now I'm going to tuck you under there just a little, and you'll see that that fits perfectly, right? Now I have these to choose from to go on my 3x4. I think I just dropped my template, and of course it's clear, so it's going to take me a minute to find it on the floor. I literally don't see it at all. Woody, where did it go? There it is. It's hard to find clear things on the floor. Okay, so what do you do with these? First of all, you need long bladed scissors, And you are going to, what we did on Easter Sunday morning was we took these buckets of Easter eggs after the girls had their first Easter egg hunt. We went to Mom's, hey Mary Lou, we went to Mom's long-term care facility, and we traveled around and handed out eggs to all the residents. It's a veterans home, so it's a lot of men. It was really pretty funny to have little Miss Hippity Hoppity here. She looks pretty shy right there, but she was the boldest one. So I can only fit 3x4s on this page. Well, I don't need the bottom of the wheelchair. The boots are cute, but I don't need those. I don't need the calendar. I don't need the root. I don't need all of it. I need their faces. That's the important part. And I can get that with our little template. Now, if I tried to crop this with a photo editing program, I would be really annoyed and all day, and I'd get pixelated, and it would require a computer. This just needs scissors. Now, if you are not comfortable doing this and you feel like this is too brave, cutting up your photos, first of all, you just print another one. Secondly, you can use a pencil and then cut it if you don't like doing this. I like just holding it tight with my thumb on my left hand and cutting away. Move these babies over, and there's that. And you'll notice that you get your double mat around it. Apparently Rosie was the photo one. This is Lulu, and I did this one because we still have snow in our backyard, which is insane. And apparently, welcome to Vermont, we're going to get another storm on Wednesday. No idea why. Just because we didn't have snow all winter. We literally didn't. But it's coming now. So this is off my deck looking down, and that's where we had shoveled off the deck, and it was just left there. And apparently gets a little bit of shade, so it hasn't melted yet. And we're gonna trim those. Hey, Rosemary. Oh, it's so good to see you guys, even though I'm not really seeing you. It's so good to have you here. This is why scrapbooking is fun, right? Mary Lou and I went to a scrapbooking crop. Oh, good golly, my dear. How many years ago was that? And it was the first time we'd met in person. We wore silly hats. We had a great time. I feel like we need to do that again. And then this is Rosie that I took by myself to the church Easter egg hunt on Saturday, which I haven't really taken Rosie by herself before. Rosie's the youngest of 3. Oh, wow. 80 today. Oh, that's so nice. I do like the one with the balloon, with the ball. So we might be needing a second page here because I feel like we have a lot of Easter egg photos. I don't need that lady's butt, but it's okay. So I'm going to line this up on the top. So I only have to cut 3 sides. You can tell we don't have grass here yet. Was it 5 years ago? Ugh. Mary Lou just lost her fur baby, and I am so sorry, Mary Lou. They are part of our family. There we go. So there is that, right? Easy peasy and done. Maybe we'll switch these around. Yeah, I like those better. Put Nana in the middle. And then the one other thing I want to show you is this is from Excellent. This has got to go on another page, but it's too cute to not do it. But oh, let me show you. It can go in a 3x4, and you're thinking, well, you need the whole page. Well, if I want the full photo, which is really cool, I could. But I could also go in Design Space, and instead of this being this way, because remember, I added this. It wasn't here. I could have done this photo. I could have done this simple this way and had a vertical photo if I needed to. So don't let it stymie you if you look at it and go, well, my photo doesn't go that way. We'll spin it around, flip it over. Lots of choices with it. But look, you can crop that down and still get just as cute a photo and you kind of get what you really want, which is her adorable face. All right. Okay. Add these guys. These are the dies from the Excellent Egg, and I colored it in a little bit. You could also do just a solid one and use that to journal if you wanted a little bit more information. But these guys would look super cute right here. Added to my page on either side. And we are done. Right? So let Cricut do all the hard work. And then all you have to do is put it together. So what I'm thinking is I can go ahead and cut these out ahead of time. I can just have a simple cutting day where I mass produce a whole bunch of them, because I cut mine out of white, and I often use a smoky slate for my shadow. Now, part of our problem has been that you can only get 12 by 12 cardstock in a bundle with other neutral colors, which is frustrating, although you could use that. But I think, and I don't have any inside information, I don't have a single thing, but I'm going to, if I were a betting lady, I would bet we're going to end up with 12 by 12 packs of solid 12 by 12 colors again. So fingers crossed, everybody. Let's hope that that happens. And Diane, that would be really fun. Let me put that on the calendar. Let's do that. So Diane is asking, can we do a Zoom crop? I think that would be fun. We've done it before. We just haven't done it in a really long time. So let me see. I struggle with Zoom and Cricut. They don't like to go together on my computer to try and run Cricut at the same time. But we could do it without, if I pre-cut things, we're good to go. And you could cut. So yeah, let's do that. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming tonight. And it was good to see some old friends. I'm glad that you're here. Thanks, Mary Lou. We'll see you all soon. And remember, I'll put the free Simple in my store, which you can find at karamiller.com. It's not there yet. Okay? It will be. Give me a few. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.